Hey book besties! Today we are going over Fourth Wing, and if you've not read Fourth Wing yet, that is totally perfect actually, because this is my non-spoiler review of Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. So go ahead, get comfy, grab your favorite little bevy, and let's get started. How do I even begin to describe Fourth Wing? Fourth Wing is like if Harry Potter and Hunger Games had a baby and they sent that baby to military school where they also had to train dragons. You following me? This book itself got me out of this huge reading slump that I was in. I had just finished all of Sarah J. Maas's Massiverse books, ending with Throne of Glass, which is by far the superior of that series. After reading Throne of Glass, I was in such a reading slump, especially when it came to fantasy. Just nothing really ignited that spark in me until I got to Fourth Wing. We actually ended up reading this book for book clubs last summer, and when I tell you that everyone loved it. People who loved fantasy, people who'd never really dove into fantasy, everyone gave it 5 stars. That was our consensus of the group. And I think that was the longest book club that we'd ever had because we just sat there and talked for hours and hours about the characters, the plot, and just unhinged theories that we thought this series was going to go into. So if you are looking for a book that will get you into fantasy or just get you back into the love of reading in general, Fourth Wing. When it comes to the tropes of Fourth Wing, obviously it is a military book, it is a war book, so there is a lot of violence in this book. And that is a pun, later on you'll understand it. There also are dragons. So yes, again, violence with said dragons. A little romance. I would say this is more of like the romantasy genre. We do have a phenomenal enemies to lovers storyline, which is just the peak of romance tropes, if I do say so myself. I would not clarify this as smut per se. It is like a little smutty, but it's mainly fantasy. Okay, let's talk about some of the characters. Starting off with our female main character, our FMC, she is such a baddie. The story is told from her perspective, and she does have EDS. EDS is a disease that really affects the connective tissue of your muscles. So essentially, if you were to take a step and twist your ankle, it might sprain and or break her ankle just because her connective tissues aren't that strong. Having this disease, she never lets it stop her, even though everyone else sees her as maybe weaker or less than. She spends this entire book not just proving to herself that she's capable of doing this, but proving to everyone else how strong-willed that she is. She's also so smart. Another really fun fact is the author, Rebecca Yarros, actually herself does have EDS as well. So it's something that she really put herself into this character. All right, let's talk her love interest. He is sexy, but I'll also say it, he's a little sketchy. But you know, who doesn't love a little mystery? There are times that during their love story, I felt it fluctuate in momentum. The story is being told from the female's perspective, so we rarely get a glimpse into what, is going on inside the male's head. There are just times where I'm like, dude, what is your motivation for this? What is happening? Overall, it's a really phenomenal story. We have to talk about the dragons, because they are dope. Rebecca Yarros does such an incredible job of really taking these mythical creatures and making them so real on the page. And all of the personalities just absolutely shine in these dragons. They really truly feel like real tangible characters. Along with Rebecca Yarros' a phenomenal writing skill, she's also so good at making you really fall for a character in such a short amount of pages. There is a character that is introduced a little bit later into the story, and he quickly just captures your heart. He is the definition of a golden retriever. He could do no wrong. Like I said, he's not introduced until later in the story, so the fact that Rebecca Yarros can make you love and care for a character in just such few pages is such an incredible feat and such a testament to her writing ability. When it comes to the big plot twist at the end of the book, I was floored. When I tell you my jaw was on the floor, I had to keep going back in the book just to make sure, like, did I read that correctly? Did that actually happen? I don't know if I entirely agree with how our main character reacted to the situation. You'll have to read the book and decide that on your own. And of course, Miss Rebecca just loves dangling us off a little cliff at the end of her books. Don't you worry, because book 2 is already out. So once you finish Fourth Wing, you can just pick up Iron Flame and just keep going. If you're looking for a book to get you out of your reading slump, maybe it's your open door into the fantasy world, pick up Fourth Wing. Trust me, you will not regret it. This epic dragon fantasy adventure, slight romance, will definitely leave you wanting more. Wanting the second book, wanting the third book that comes out later this month. I do have a spoiler review coming out soon of Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros if you have read it, or if you read the book after this video and want to come back and talk about all things spoilers, I got you covered. Also, look out for my book 2 Iron Flame spoiler-free review that's coming out soon as well. And I cannot forget about Onyx Storm. That comes out January 21st of 2025, and you know I am getting that baby on that midnight release. So go ahead, like, follow, subscribe. I will be covering all of the Empyrean series, giving you all of my recommendations and also all of my unhinged thoughts and theories. Send this to your bestie who needs to read Fourth Wing. If you're seeing this, this is your sign.